All right, on today's Code Bet Daily, we are looking at your player props, game picks, best bets, even some bad beats. I'm looking at some NBA, MVP gear, the NFL Super Bowl. Stats guy, what do you got?
Yeah, a bit of women's tennis, test match cricket, and the NBA.
Nice one, Alex.
Life is meaningless, but we're looking at some cricket and some FA Cup action.
Who got the bad beats, do you reckon? It might have been him. All right, check out Code Bet Daily. It's really good. All right, Code Bet Daily. It is Monday, February 6th, all day. I believe this is episode 45 of Code Bet Daily. Haven't been cancelled yet. You love to see it. I am your host, Jaymz Clements. I am the editor of a very good website we love to call Code Bet because that's its name, and you should probably call things by their names.
Yep.
There you go. Don't mind that. As usual, joined by the pontiffs of punting, it is the stats guy, Liam McAllion.
How are we? Very happy with some of the results over the weekend. Don't know about Alex over there, though.
We're going to get to that. And we're joined by a bad beat himself, Alex Donnelly. Donnelly, what's going on?
I hate myself. I hate my life. Everything is meaningless.
Jeez, misses out on two bets, and here we are. But that's all right. It's Code Bet Daily or Code, I don't know, Opera Daily if you ask our producer.
Roast and opera.
I did spend about 20 minutes yelling about opera before we recorded. Good times, great memories. That's not going to see the light of day. Anyway, Code Bet Daily, this is what we do here. It's, as it says on the tin, we're talking player props, game picks, best bets for today, the next day, whatever. We've got some futures, I think, popping up in this one. In fact, for one of mine, it is. And, of course, today we've got some bad beats, courtesy of Alex Donnelly. So what are we looking at today? I've got some NBA gear because we're at trade deadline this week. We've already seen one big move. I'm going to talk about the MVP odds because of that. And one more NFL Super Bowl look, which is just, I love this one. I'm just rolling in these Super Bowl bets.
There's a million different things you can bet on. It's awesome.
I'm loving it. This one is also a very silly one, but you can dig into it a little bit, and I kind of like it. So it also does spin off into some secondary bets too. Stats guy, what are you looking at today?
Yeah, I'm looking at a bit of women's tennis, some test match cricket, and a bit of NBA to finish off as well.
Jeez, running the whole
bit
gamut.
of everything, yeah.
I like it. And Donnelly, what have you got?
I got a Brownlow medal take for the full season.
Nice.
It's nowhere near us. I've been
I like
thinking
that.
about some of the long-term plays. Some test cricket where I go back to my original roots, and the FA Cup on Wednesday morning, I believe.
Oh, original roots. I know what
Original
this is.
roots as a test match player for
It's either Desert Theory or going against Australia.
Desert Theory or going against Australia. They're the two things that Alex does. Done. But speaking of which, let's actually start with some bad beats because Alex had a couple on the weekend. To be honest, look, I had two as well.
I had one, actually.
Because we had, I think, the Golden State Warriors over the Mavericks on the weekend didn't cover because they just decided to give up the ghost in the fourth quarter. That cost me a 4-leg multi. Thanks a lot to the Warriors. I believe there was another one. Oh, it was, yeah. So this was the classic one, the Knicks. I had the Knicks. I was all over the Knicks. So Knicks playing the Clippers. My tip going into this weekend, I was feeling great about the Knicks just coming out of nowhere to beat this Clippers team who, against teams above 500, haven't been that great. The Knicks at home, also not great, but I figured getting 2.5 points, we should be okay. Knicks come from like 18 points down, come storming home. They're up 3, laughing. Leave Nick Batum open to hit the game-tying 3 with no time left. They go to overtime, get smoked by 8 in the overtime. I'm just sitting there going, what just happened? What just happened? The bet was cashed.
It was already in.
The Knicks are always going to Knicks shut. Anyway, Alex, what had happened to you? So we had we threaded a needle, I think, with a bad beat in just absolute classic bad beat fashion.
Yeah, so at the start of the Big Bash tournament, we did the preview of just, who's going to win, who's going to go well. Most runs was the article that I was told to do. So, did some study, did a fair bit of study, having a look through all of the, previous iterations of the Big Bash and what experts had been predicting for this season and, who'd been playing well in state cricket and whatever else. And we landed on Matt Short at a really good price because we thought Ben McDermott couldn't do it again. Darcy Short's been horrible for the last year. Philippi's been in and out. And the Stoin machine, there's a lot of inconsistent horses I could bring up here, but he is one of them. Anyway, so we landed on Matt Short at $34. We're like, he's going to open. He's going to play every game because he's not going to get picked for Australia. There's also another thing. We're like, Adelaide should make the finals. Take the $34. From day one of the Big Bash, Matt Short was leading. Well, he was head-to-head with Chris Lynn, but Chris Lynn was always going to leave. So I was like, All right, I'm sweet, 5 or 10 runs behind Chris Lynn, that's fine. Matt Short slaps a century in a 200-run chase down. I am something like 60 runs ahead with like 3 games to go. Adelaide pull out the biggest choke job of all time and lose their last 5 to not make the finals.
That was horrible.
And Matt Short decides to score like 5 runs in the last 2 games. And he's on, I think it was like 453, 400.
Which is still a lot of runs.
A lot of runs, like ridiculous. And, what was it? 458 in 14 games. And he misses the finals. So I had Aaron Hardy from the Perth Scorchers, 25 runs behind. Anyway, he scores, he's 5 to 10 in the first game. It doesn't matter. I can't remember. I'm like, okay, I can do 14 or less. If Aaron Hardy scores 14 runs, I cash.
Yep.
So we know where this story is going to go. That the Brisbane Heat bat first, really good game actually. Side note, Aaron Hardy strides to the crease and looks as nervous as stats guy before a date. Can't hit one off the square.
Why are you watching me on my date?
Hits one towards Michael Nisa, went on 6, who decides to slip over and drop the catch.
I forgot about that.
It was a sitter. For a professional sports baller like Michael Nisa, that is a sitter. Aaron Hardy hits like 5 singles and he's like two behind. I'm like, I see how this is going to happen. And it happens in the worst way possible. Inside edge between his legs for 4 to beat me. 2 balls later, hits it straight down deep fine leg's throat, absolutely smokes it to a miracle catch, and I kind of cease to exist.
Explained, very well explained.
I like how you walked us through that, but I feel like you undersell just how close he was going close to going out.
Oh, yeah.
Edge. It literally went between the stump and his cats.
I think I went through the stumps.
An absolute bee schlong. Like, it was absolutely incredible how close it was. And then goes out like a couple of balls
later. 2 balls later. Hits a single and then hits it straight down fine leg's throat.
It's like he saw, I've beaten Donnelly's bet.
Well, I'm done.
Now I can go out. I'm done. My work here is done. I'll see you guys later.
Matt Short's played 1 less game and we've been done by 2 runs. All he had to do was dead set hit a 4 in 1 final or one of those last games. And I'm significantly richer right now at $34.
That is unlucky.
Amazing. Nice one. And look, to be honest, that game was absolutely wild and very, very
Probably one of the best games of the season,
I turned it off when Aaron Hardy got out because I was like, I don't want to put myself through more torture.
And then also we had a pretty crazy bad beat, I guess, in the NBL as well, didn't we, Stats Guy, with the United missing out on the finals.
Oh, I forgot about that, actually, yes.
Perth gave up the ghost against Sydney. Well, Sydney gave up the ghost against Perth. Sydney beat them by 12.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
NBL finals, they needed to beat them by 11.
11, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, my God. That's insane.
That's
insane. I think we're missing the biggest one. That's why Alex is even sadder. That Everton, who Alex said were going to get relegated, beat the Arsenal, who are league leaders, in their first game under a new coach. I think the first game under a new coach thing actually worked somehow.
Dead manager bounce.
It always works.
Side note, thank you, Harry Kane, and thank you, Tottenham. I can't believe.
Oh, they saved your asses there. I know.
Yeah, Harry Kane becomes the leading Tottenham goal scorer of all time with 267. And Manchester City continue their record of not scoring at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it extends for another extended period of time.
Crazy.
5 years.
Crazy vibes out of the EPL. So for Arsenal to lose to Everton and then Man City not to be able to take advantage of it is just absolutely...
That's just so funny, yeah.
And also, Stats Guy's team, had the most
we got
of the weekend.
We got a point.
Woo-hoo, yeah.
No looking back. One player prop looking forward to me. Cool. Luka Doncic, MVP.
Whoa. Interesting.
Now, Jimmy, you might ask, why Luka Doncic? I'm like, well, because Kyrie Irving just got traded to the Dallas Mavericks this morning. You might be able to see our actual MVP NBA breakdown in today's papers all the way across this wide brown land of ours. I did mention the end of the Luka Doncic section that if he gets a second star, his chances improve. Now, you might think that that's not exactly sort of correlated, but it is, because a lot of my problem with the Luka sort of, candidacy for this MVP is that the top 2 leaders in the moment are Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Joker's Nuggets sit on top of the West. Embiid's Sixers, I believe, are 3rd in the East. Basically tied with the Milwaukee Bucks for 2nd. So
Nice.
they've got like team success. The Mavs, however, I believe I think they might have managed to eke up to 4th at the moment. But every team basically 3 onwards down in the West in the NBA. It's all very tightly crammed together. There's only a few games sort of separating them, right? So actually, Dallas have now slipped down to 6 after yesterday. So they are 28 and 26. But the thing is, between 3 through 13 in the West, there is only 5.5 games. So
That's crazy.
you can move up and down very, very quickly. Obviously, the big problem with Dallas was that their floor, if they don't have Luka, just doesn't exist. They stunk. They pulled out like one random win because Spencer Dinwiddie went off. They fought pretty hard against the Warriors. They still lost, whatever. If they don't have Luka, they suck. When the on-off numbers for Luka are chaos, the Mavs needed that extra ball handler that they don't have anymore because they basically couldn't match Jalen Brunson walking to the Knicks in the offseason.
Yeah.
And so that team success and just winning those games, winning those minutes when Luka's not on the floor, weirdly enough, works. You'd think it works for Luka because it's like, oh, he's MVP. When he's not there, you see how valuable he is. It's incredible. He's very valuable. But no, the problem is if your team sort of stinks, you're just not going to get MVP votes. So Luka Doncic now $9 across the sort of board, essentially with BetR, Ladbrokes, and Bet365 and anywhere else you can sort of see your MVP odds. $9 when you've already got $1.80 around sort of Jokic, I think, as the favorite, about $3 at the moment for Joel Embiid. $9 for Luka, who we've seen in that 1 week drop a 60-point triple-double.
Yeah.
Bookended by 50-point games. He can just turn it on, right? And you've got the last third of a season now after the All-Star break. If Dallas go on a run and basically end up as a top 3 seed in the West, if Kyrie Irving doesn't burn the entire place to the ground as NBA Kanye, maybe it works, right? This is the thing. It could work really, really well for the Mavs and just sort of, if they can get that win streak happening, they just need sort of one really big win streak to get front and foremost in everyone's minds. Everybody looks at Luka's numbers, which are absolute chaos. Like the dude is, I think, a second in the league in scoring, and he's only just dropped behind Joel Embiid in the last couple of weeks after Embiid's gone on a tear himself. But he's averaging 33.5 points, 9 rebounds, 8.2 assists. He's basically shooting the ball better than he ever has before as well. Luka's unstoppable. Like his individual brilliance is just like you can't deny how great he is. The problem is always going to be the team success. If they just get that little bit better, and here's the clincher, the narrative. Oh, he made it work with Kyrie.
True.
Unbelievable.
If he can make it work with Kyrie, just give him the award.
Make it work with Kyrie. Nobody's made it work with Kyrie because he's NBA Kanye. Luke, sort of brain genius. Let's give him the MVP. Basically, as a long shot at $9, when you've got such a short favorite, I love the value. I'd at least have a bit of a taste on Luka. I already have as of this morning. I love the play. So Luka, $9, NBA MVP. We've got a third of the season to go, but it's a great player prop, great player pick. I reckon the rest of mine this week will be all NFL Super Bowl stuff, but there you go. Just a little NBA. Dig it.
Yeah,
what do you got?
Yeah, we're having a look into some more niche tennis markets as I did last time. This one's the women's tennis in Abu Dhabi. It doesn't sound like a big tournament, but I looked at a lot of the people that are playing are all top 25 in the women's tour. So it's actually a pretty good tournament. Not that, and you got 2 top 25 players playing against each other in this match with Anna Kontaveit v. Shui Zhang. Zhang had a really good Australian Open with the 4th round. She was unlucky not to make it through the next phase, but she was really good. She's the outsider in this at $3. And you got Kontaveit, I'm surprised, $1.28, I think she was. Both, as I said, ranked pretty high. Kontaveit leads this matchup 3-2, but all of them, except for one, went to full length, so 3 sets. It's going to be a really close matchup. So I really like Shui Zhang plus 2.5 games at $1.90. And even maybe her to win at $3 is not a bad bet. The plus 2.5, it probably, even if she loses, I think they could go to a few tiebreakers. It's going to be a really close matchup in Abu Dhabi. And I think, Zhang can at least cover the line and might be able to get a win in this one. She showed in the Australian Open, she's also one of the most powerful hitters, probably second or third to Sabalenka at the top with being the most powerful. But Zhang, she's getting a bit older now, but she's gotten more powerful somehow. So I think she's a really good bet.
Plus 2.5 is a great line for women's tennis.
It is, yeah.
Dangerous though.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
7-6, 7-5, you're toast.
Yeah, so I think there could be a few tiebreakers just because these two match up really, really close. So if she can get a set, then she can cover it. But if she doesn't, I think there could be even 2 tiebreakers, and then she still covers it.
After that first set of that one in the Australian Open went to 7-6 to take the over to 19. I'm never betting the tennis line again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're not a big fan of the line, I still think Zhang can win it around about
no
$320.
more line bets in the tennis. Actually, did the line bet in the cricket didn't cash either? Because were they 6 down or were they 5
No, I
down?
did. They were 5 down, so I did.
Yes. Half a wicket.
Yes. Yeah, half a wicket. Anyway, yeah, almost another bad bet. But yeah, I like Zhang in the bit of a niche market, but you get good value in the WTA Abu Dhabi Open.
Awesome. Alex, what have you got for your player prop?
Yeah, just before I rip into that, just after last week talking about all the time, Brentford $21 into 9 for the top 6. Just saying.
Oh, jeez.
Liverpool are $1.90 and Chelsea are evens, and they both stink. Yeah. Liverpool and Chelsea, dead set, will not make the top 6 the way they're playing at the moment. Chelsea, of the 2 teams, probably can. Liverpool, I don't know what's going on there.
I was happy.
Anyway.
I like this. I think I've got to jump on the EPL show at some point and just decide on which team I'm going for. This is. I feel like
Brentford's probably not a bad team to start.
I'm on board with Brentford.
Brentford or Brighton are the ones rising up.
Notts Forest are doing a bit for us too. I'm loving myself some Notts.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's great. Let's go.
Yeah, hell yeah, Keylor Navas. Tom Mitchell for the Brownlow is what I'm having a look at here.
Okay.
Yeah,
the titch.
Having a look forward here. $41 you can get if you look around the traps at the moment. Now, I'm not saying, this is going to sound dumb. I'm not saying he can win it, but he's a good potential cash out option for later in the year because
that's true, actually.
Bookies, they offer you a cash out. If he, in the first, 6 games, looks like he's going to get 3 votes, you might think about taking that cash out option or betting around and creating a book.
Yep.
But he's one of the best inside midfielders in the game. He was at Hawthorn last year, who, as we all know, absolutely stank, and they've decided to blow up the joint and potentially go for the wooden spoon this year. He averaged 28.5 possessions last year in a really average team. Now, in 2021, when they were going okay before they blew up the joint, he averaged 34 possessions. And then when you go back to his Brownlow win in 2018, he had 35 a game. It was 35.34.
That's crazy.
He can hit those numbers again now that he's in a good midfield because they're going to win the clearance level. It's quick handball out, get another one back, kick it in the forward line. That's he's an accumulator. He can very easily hit those 40s and 50s as we've seen.
I like it, yeah.
He's in a team where the top vote getter, I think, was 11 last year. So
very
the
Dacos
boys haven't exploded onto the scene. Pendlebury is going to be is going to play like what Joel Selwood did last year for Geelong. So there's not a lot of people to take votes off him. And that's a massive thing when it comes to these things because you look at the really good teams of the past 10 to 15 years and you're like, their best player should just win the Brownlow. Josh Kennedy was a $1.80 favourite for 2 Brownlows in a row. For
the exactly, yeah.
And he was everyone knew he was the best player in the competition.
People took votes off him,
Didn't win because Kieran Jack, Dan Hanbury all took votes off him. So if you look towards Carlton this year, Patrick Cripps, he's going to have a lot of potential danger against Sam Walsh. Is going to take votes off him as well. So you look towards that. Whereas Mitchell, he can very easily get those, games where someone else might get 1. He'll get the 2 or 3. So I'm looking at him at the $41 as I think it's a really good value play. Just starting to look ahead before obviously we see 7 million practice matches and Kane Corns' horrendous takes and David King coming in and just going, no, Kane, you're an idiot. Here's the correct term and what we're going to do going forward.
I think you just summed up AFL media. Done.
Yeah, I was summed all up. I like that bet though a lot. Yeah,
that is 41. Yeah, so on Collingwood, it's a bit of a weird one because it depends on how you feel like their season's going to go.
I think they'll be top 6 again. They'll dig a little bit. Yeah. Law of averages says they can't win that many close games again, but you still get votes in those close games. We're
going to set up all these AFL stuff, as we get close to the season, obviously. Yep. But it does feel like just that out and out sort of take before the season. It was a surprise that they were so good last year. Yeah. Maintaining that surprise is really difficult in the AFL, I think. So, but you're right. I think the way that you broke that down is really smart and really good because
absolutely
they don't have that dominant just possession gatherer.
They don't even have a dominant clearance. They were one of the worst teams in clearances last year as well. So he'll get a bulk of their clearances.
He's in and around it. You kind of don't mind it.
Because the umpire's like, Mitchell was everywhere, wasn't he? Like it's something that sticks in their head. Like I hate the fact that the Brownlows are midfielders medal, but anyway, that's another rant for another day.
All right, really quickly, the rest of the show.
We've had a longer one today. Yeah.
Our post-weekend shows and pre-weekend shows are always the longest. Match game pick, easy one for me, the Soupy. I'm sticking Soupy. Love this one again. Bluebet have got a suite of just like fun, weird Super Bowl extras, and this will probably be the last sort of novelty-ish one that I have this week outside of actual sort of picks that I have. This one is the over-under of the jersey number of the first touchdown scorer.
Oh, my God.
So the jersey number.
This is so just.
Either team
this
over
is very funny.
jersey number 11.
How have they come up with that line?
It's 12 and up or 11 and under. Because it's almost evenly split on both teams as to who their touchdown scorers are, especially when it comes to first touchdown scorer, don't forget. Essentially, on both sides, they have a really even split of blokes who either fall, under 12 or above 12. So Philly, you've got Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith as the unders, and that's basically your quarterback, your two main receivers. You've got Dallas Goedert, all your running backs essentially above that as well. With Dallas Goedert being the tight end at 88, your Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, etc., all above 12. The interesting one for me, for Philly, is that you've got a couple of their defenders are actually under 11 as well, like Darius Slay, Hassan Reddick and co. Slay, if Mahomes throws an early touchdown, early interception, Slay takes it back for a TD. Boom,
that'd be nice, yeah.
Man, if the first touchdown is an intercept touchdown, I'm just dead set going to jump over that bar on Monday morning.
That's the but I think there's much better odds if you're going to just go, we'll get a defensive touchdown first for Philly.
That'd be a lot more, yeah.
But this is basically this is opening up your options for that under 12 for Philly. And on the Chiefs side, you've got a few less because you've only got Jarrett McKinnon, Isaiah Pacheco, and Juju Smith-Schuster as the under 12s. The rest is Mahomes, 15, Kelsey's the 87, Tony, 19, Hardman, 17. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, actually, though, is under 12. He's 11. So I think the play's over because I think you've got Kelsey on one side, you've got Goddard on the other. The tricky part is we know who scored all their first touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has scored 6 for the Eagles. Sanders has scored 4. AJ Brown 2, Goddard 2, Devonta Smith 1. It's almost down the line how close this is, but I think it's got to be weighted for the Kelsey because he's had 8 touchdowns as the first one for Kansas City, which is crazy. So it's a bit hard to go past, but the Eagles have scored the first touchdown 13 of the last 19 games. And if it's going to be Philly, I kind of feel like I want to go with the over. I want to go Goddard, Sanders, Scott, Kenny Gainwell. They run it in early. If that's where we land, probably going to go the over. That also gives you Kelsey on the other side of the Chiefs score first, or Mahomes just scampering in for his first touchdown, which I kind of like. So this is a bit of an either or, but you get to dig into it. It's kind of fun, bit dumb, but it's only $1.87 either way, over or under, whatever. My point is, I think you can then dig into your first touchdown scorer specifically, and you get hugely more rewarding odds. This is much more of a field kind of bet, which is kind of fun, a bit weird for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, why not?
I'd love to see it because you'll be on absolute tenterhooks if you bet this.
What's in the numbers?
What is happening? Who's going to get the touchdown? Oh, he's got that. It's number 14. You're killing me. And stuff like that, which is what all Super Bowl bets should basically be, right? It's like one or the other. You're just screaming. You're angry. You're loving it. It's great. So that's with Bluebet. Go check those out. Enjoy it. If I had a pick, and I will later in the week, obviously, first touchdown, I actually don't mind that defense one, but I think Mahomes is actually a nice one as well. So in the red zone, he's got that ankle, 2 weeks more to, time to sort of let it
get some injections, yeah.
If he sort of just, if they get close in the red zone, everyone clears out, Philly come at him, he just gets out the edge, boom, in he goes, or he finds Kelsey, obviously. All right. There you go. First touchdown scorers. Love it. Liam, what have you got for your game?
Yeah, I'm going to some test match cricket. We've got Zimbabwe and the West Indies, which is actually currently being played. But when the matches are on, you can have a bet on it and it still has odds. So it's into day 3 now. They've had the first few days were a bit rain delayed, but I think West Indies can still find a way to win this. They're none for 221. It's coming into day 3, but if they make a quick score, and then they can get some quick wickets. I think they can still win. You've got both the West Indies openers on 100. So Chanderpaul and Brathwaite are not out on 100. I think they might try and get to like 300 or so and might declare. And I think, their bowlers can absolutely tear Zimbabwe's. This is Zimbabwe's first test in 18 months. They just don't play many test matches because they're not at the level of Australia and your New Zealand and things like that.
Well,
so I think
West Indies aren't near the level of Australia, right?
The West Indies aren't either, but they have played a lot of test match cricket. They've got some players that are now they was sort of a few debuts against Australia, and I think they could absolutely smash the West Indies. Zimbabwe, but you get West Indies are still $2.40 just because of the rain delay. I think it's $1.60 for a draw because of the rain. But the next 2 days, there's no predicted rain. You've got Alzari Joseph with the ball, who I've talked about a lot during the podcast, during the World Cup and things like that. I think he can absolutely tear it up no matter what wicket. He's quick. He'll be quicker than anyone that any of those Zimbabwe players have faced. So I think they can absolutely tear it up. West Indies have also beaten Zimbabwe in their last, what did I write here? 11 of their last 13 meetings in all formats. So they know how to beat them. Yeah.
So this is going into day 3.
It's into day 3, so that's why the odds is a bit more skewed towards.
Yeah, that's right. You've still got 3 days.
You've still got 3 days.
They got to bowl out Zimbabwe twice.
They could even declare now. I don't know. I don't think they will, but they could.
You are asking a lot of this West Indies bowling attack, who only took 19 wickets in 2 Test matches.
Yeah, but that was against one of the best teams in the world.
You've also said this pitch is flat, so it's a slight concern.
I think they can, but just because Zimbabwe are really, really poor and they don't. I've only played 1 Test match in like 2 years.
I like it. Test guy going in on a bit of a limb,
Yes.
Wants to see Zimbabwe bowled out twice in 3 days.
I love Alzari Joseph, so I wouldn't mind seeing him get a 5 or something.
Dig it. All right, Donnelly, what have you got there? Another Test match?
Yeah, looking towards India and Australia. Kicks off this Thursday over in India. India are currently favourites, of course, at $1.80. India have won their last 15 Test series at home. That is an insane
that's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's because the pitch is bloody hell.
Well, Australia haven't won there since 2004. Hey, stats guy, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I hate that Australia haven't played a tour match coming into this. A lot of the boys have been playing some hit and giggle for the last, 3 weeks. So it's hard to get out of that T20 mode straight into Test mode. Like ideally, the Big Bash has its own window and then they have a month to prepare for this, but because they're still catching up to COVID and everything's all sort of charged in together at the moment. Josh Hazlewood isn't playing. He was ruled out yesterday with an injury. I'm going to be honest. If we pick Ashton Agar, we are going to get smashed.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Test match spin bowler. Scotty Boland should stroll straight in. Mitchell Starc straight back in. I wouldn't even mind if they picked Lance Morris over Scotty Boland, to be honest. Either or doesn't really faze me. And if Cameron Green doesn't play, Matt Renshaw should play, not Ashton Agar. But in saying that, India are going to beat us at home. They are, but the thing is, they are so good
I can agree on that one. It's hard to beat them.
Going from the Big Bash conditions to over there, I think the first test is where they'll catch us on the hop. I think we can win the series, but I think the first test, India's the good bet here at $1.80. And I also think Steve Smith, $6 with Bet365 to score most runs in the test match is a good bet, because I have a feeling that India could post a huge total and only have to bat once. Like this could almost be an innings job on us. And, they score, 500 or whatever, but Smith can easily score, 80 and 80 to get to the 160 over the 2 innings and beat a Kohli who scored his 150 not. So I think that's an all right price. But, I think India might have the advantage over us leading into the first test.
Interesting. I wouldn't mind knowing what the innings plus win for India then is.
It'd be on Bet365. They usually have it. So that's
substantially better odds, I dare say.
Yeah.
I like that. It's interesting. I like the breakdown. And, the sort of acclimatizing to the conditions is a bit of a weird one. I kind of think you should throw, at least one little game in there just to get out in the field and feel it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
A two-day bloody, run around against some Indian 11. It doesn't matter. But
it is a bit strange that we've gone straight into it.
Anyway, all right, there you go. That's going to be great. Can't wait. That's also a really good time for us in Australia as well, isn't it? What is it? 3 p.m. starts over here?
It's like a day-nighter test for us.
It's going to be
awesome.
Can't wait. Plenty of time in the office just sitting there watching Test cricket. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Right. Best bets for today. Tomorrow, mine's really easy. I got the Clippers 11-plus point winners against the Nets tomorrow.
I love that.
The Nets, straight away Kyrie, no Ben Simmons, no Kevin Durant. We saw Cam Thomas go off for 44 on the weekend. That was unreal.
He's
Cam
not going to do
Thomas,
it again.
chaos. But now that the cat's out of the bag a little bit there, that was against what? The Wizards. They stink. The Clippers do not. So the Clippers 11+ point winners. It's $2.65. I'm all over that. And I think because the Clippers are super deep of just like very good quality NBA players.
Absolutely.
They roll Kawhi and Paul George out there. This game's already over. So 11+ for the Clippers. I could not be behind that more. Can you tell?
I wrote that down actually, as you wrote it down as well. I wrote the exact same, or not the 11+. I think I did them at the line, but I think Clippers can absolutely smack them. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the NBA ones, like there's line betting is obviously what we sort of go to a lot of the time, but you can find a bit of value with the absolute smashings because when you have a team like on the back foot, like the Nets are right now, a bit of turmoil, their new players won't have arrived post the Kyrie sort of trade.
True, yeah.
I think the Nets also then play the Suns the day after, so I'd be just leaning both those games are absolute smashings, and the Nets are just like, what just happened? Like shell shock vibe. So nice one. Liam, what have you got for your best bet?
Yeah, I'm having a look at the NBA as well. I was going to go the Clippers, but I'll change it up to another line bet. Milwaukee Bucks versus the Portland Trailblazers. I think the Bucks are just too good not to get on in this one. The line's only -4.5, so you get $1.90 for them. Giannis, we all know he's been unstoppable, but even in the last week, he's got 2 50-point games. The last game, he had a 35-point triple-double. I think he had another 30-point triple-double 8 days ago or something. He's just been amazing. Everyone thought he might struggle a tiny bit, come back from injury, but he's gotten 2 50-point games and shut everyone up about that. The Bucks also got Middleton back the other day. He got 24 points, I think it was yesterday. So he's just been on fire. They've got pretty much a full-strength team, and I think, they're too good not to get on here. They've got the longest win streak in the NBA currently at 7. They've beaten the Trailblazers, I think it's the last 7 of the last 8 times, and they're all over 8 points. So they know how to beat the Blazers. And no Dame time. I think just watch Giannis absolutely tear it up again. Could even go for another 50-point game the way he's playing. Yeah,
this is in Portland as well. So they're 4.5 favorites on the road, which is it tells you there's a bit of
how well they're
confidence.
going. Yeah. So sometimes on the road it's not the easiest line bet, but I think you got to roll with them at the moment. They've even got Brook Lopez, who's favorite for the Defensive Player of the Year. So they've just got everything at the moment, the Bucks, to get a win.
Did Jaren Jackson die in a grease fire? What?
Oh, is he the favorite? Is he?
Yeah, Jaren Jackson's.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, I like Brook Lopez. Yeah,
I love that. It's a tricky one because the Blazers, I just don't know. I can't trust Jeremiah Grant to slow down Giannis, and
I don't think he can.
You've got Giroux. There's just too many good defenders on the Bucks for this Blazers team to get up. So I kind of like that 4.5. Yeah, I'd be over that too. Nice one. Alex, what have you got?
Yeah, I'll keep this one nice and short. Burnley versus Ipswich Town in FA Cup replay. Burnley,
I love
$1.83 head-to-head. Burnley, they're going to qualify for the EPL. They're going to go straight back up. They've lost 2 games in the championship all season. They are killingit.com.au. They're unbeaten in their past 4 home games against Ipswich across all competitions. Ipswich have lost 6 of their last 8 FA Cup replays. Burnley have won their last 5 replays. There you go. Burnley will win.
Nice. I like that.
Done. $1.83.
Nice.
I like that it also sounded like you called them dip switch. That's great.
You dip switches.
You dip switch. Such a dip switch. Nice. I think actually in your paper piece as well about, I think Ipswich, you had them in markets for today's paper. I think they were called Ipsywich, which is great.
Oh, nice. Good job, editors.
So locals call them.
That's why, I'm an editor. Ipsywich. I love it. All right, there you go.
Through 3 editors. Good job, us.
No,
I stopped it because I saw it. I went, Ipsywich. No, we're going to stop.
Nice.
Before E, except after
which.
extra I in there for no reason. All right, that's it. Go Bet Daily for today. Back on deck tomorrow. They're going to be Stats Guy and Alex in the office tomorrow. I don't think I'll be around. But that's good. They'll be able to handle it, no doubt. So get around the show. Subscribe on your podcast app. Like, review, and share it. Check us a follow on the socials, Facey IG, Twitter, TikTok, all the good stuff. Send in any questions. Where are the questions from Karen and Mark? What's going on?
Yeah,
I don't know. They said he's going to do one. I'll have to give him a call.
See, I haven't got a question from my lovely girlfriend Steph. Stats Guy, can you do more interesting TikToks, please, and thank you.
Yes, there's a few more coming out the next few days, I think. So
also shout out to Steph for building my pantry over the weekend. Good job.
Shout out Daily is back.
Yeah, exactly.
Code Shout Daily. All right. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
I'm going to go sit in this hole of self-pity.
I love it. It's called your house. I like it. Nice. Thanks to Gerald Digno for producing. Gerald is an absolute superstar. Thanks to me for, I don't know, just saying stuff. What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, mate, all your picks come in. Happy punting. We'll catch you tomorrow. Code Bet Daily. Out.